Oh yeah, I'm gonna get one thing like straight off the bat. Everybody's sending me journals this week, right? I'm not gonna open your messages until I'm gonna do them. So like I keep them here because now I know exactly who sent me journals. So please send me the journal through Discord so I can keep track of exactly who sent me them. If not, I'm gonna have to write it down and I'm gonna have to keep it somewhere. And like all my boards are pretty much, for the most part, like full. Um, so yeah, just make sure you send it through Discord and I'll get to them when I have time. This week, I don't know. It depends. Like my summer class ends Tuesday, and then I have a day off Wednesday, and then the fourth is when I start my other two classes. But those are gonna be way less stressful because they're actually 6 to 8 week classes. They're not 3 week classes, so it's way less work. So I can actually do everything like how we were doing it before. I was sending markups every day, so waiting for that to happen, and then we'll be good. And I'll be sending markups every day, not every day, but like how it used to be. And then I'm also need to do the GA breakdown. I need to do the EU breakdown. The EU breakdown is barely finishing up, so I'm not gonna do that one yet. The GA breakdown, that one completed, and I need to do the behaviors breakdown, the one I told you guys. That one it's gonna take me so long. It's probably gonna take me like 4 hours to prepare it. And then it'll probably take me like 20-30 minutes to actually film it. So that's gonna take me some time to do, but it'll come eventually. It'll come eventually. What the fuck? But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and start with the XY. Because yesterday was actually the monthly closure for everything. Right, yesterday was the monthly closure for the month of May, because obviously Monday is going to be June 1st. Yeah, Monday's going to be June 1st, so the open of June's monthly candle, and it's either finally going to do as we say, and it's everything's lining up, but I'm not fully sure just yet. I want to see how this week plays out. Right, like for example, DXY, right? We see that's a very, very nice monthly closure. Let me see. When's the last time we saw a closure like that? Any two closures like that? Yeah, probably like here maybe. Just anything kind of like that closure. But it's like, it makes sense. If this is the actual reaction that we're gonna get, that this mitigated something over here, if that is valid, if that narrative is valid, then price will never reach back up here. So we have to play that narrative until that high breaks. And now we're obviously getting the supporting monthly closures that we're wanting. But it's just it's a matter of time, because the only way for this narrative to be fully complete, this low has to be taken out. Right? That's just how liquidity works, runs, whatever you want to say. I think it looks better on EU. Right, like look at this monthly closure. Right, incredible monthly closure. We finally broke last month high, and we have a ton of rejection shown. Right, we finally played this candle. Right, there was also the I think it was 2-week candle that I showed you last week. Yeah, or a couple days ago, I don't remember. But right, we've been playing this single narrative for probably for like, what has it been, since March 16th? That's been probably like 2 months, 3 months. It's about to be 3 months, but the narrative is finally playing out, and the only way for this narrative to fully complete based off this time frame is obviously these two highs have to be taken out. Like, these are two very significant highs. Right? Those are two very significant highs, and we have to take those out. And the momentum is finally showing itself to the upside. Right? So now all I want to see is to see supporting volume come into play. Right? When you start zooming in, right, it's starting to creep up. It's creeping up, right? Momentum is showing, what volume is supporting, right? They were playing the same narrative that we've been playing for months. So yeah, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. Like, I don't want to be like I told you so, but like I've been saying the same stuff for what 2-3 months now, right? Obviously, I tried to pick this low here, right? That didn't work out. This was the open of the monthly, and then it came back to get the 50%, right? Because SC rules state that price, even if it mitigates open, it always has the possibility of mitigating 50%, as it did, right? That's even if it's a mitigation play. You know, I don't honestly, it doesn't even matter what it is anymore. It's just the fact that it reacted from it. That's giving us narrative, giving us direction, right? So this daily closure, I'm not worried at all. Yesterday's daily closure, I didn't even trade yesterday. Honestly, I didn't even take a trade this week. I was chilling this week. I was working on my online class. But right, we didn't break March's high, as you can see here. We barely missed it. I was waiting to see if that was going to be taken out, right? Because I wanted to see that be taken out and then give a reaction to the downside. But right, this is where people are saying, "Oh, double top, right? Sell off, right?" I'm not gonna be that person, right? You guys know I'm not that person to say, "Oh, retail sucks, retail can't trade, blah blah blah, whatever." But I do want to see a correction here. I want to see this sell-off play a little bit longer, right? At least into this relative area, so it's gonna be a substantial pullback, and then we can obviously target, right, 1150, because that is where liquidity is resting, and we're continuing structure to the upside, right? And the reason why this daily closure isn't worrying me at all is, for one, look at this weekly. Right, a very impulsive weekly, a very bullish monthly, and I think next month is the closure for the quarter, right? So just in a month, that's where we're probably going to see what the direction is going to be for the rest of the year, because look at how this is looking, how this is setting up for the rest of the year, right? We're building the narrative that's starting from when it starts, and we're trying to end it off with the full target, right? Like, there's the possibility of even it reaching up here if we get the correct reaction and the correct follow through, right? But obviously this will take time. This will take a couple years probably. It does, I don't know, who knows. So I'm not really worried about that right now. All I'm worried about now is making sure we get direction right and we just target, you know, swing highs, because that's where, you know, you have high probability trades, and if you get the proper entry, then shit, you get 1 to 50s, 1 to 60s, just like that. Right, obviously you aren't going to get that full thing unless you don't take partials, but that's up to you if you want to do that or not. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. I take partials, like I tell you guys, after highs, after X amount of percentage, not even X amount of percentage, but just when certain highs are taken out, right? So your job is to figure out whether you want to take partials or you want to hold that entire trade. I just do it to just be safe, and you know, just because I never know what can happen. And even if I break even, yes, I don't lose money. Maybe I'll lose a little bit, right? Nothing crazy, but I do lose time, and I just wasted time holding that trade for no reason. And time is a very valuable asset to me. So that's why I pretty much take partials after certain target, whether it's the first intraday high or the second intraday high. Just depends on the trade. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't even been looking at anything else. I haven't even been looking at GU at all. That's solid monthly. Actually, not really a solid monthly, just because I don't like how that engulfed on equal volume. I mean, I am still bullish on this, right? The narrative that I'm using here is obviously liquidity was ran. Yo, what the fuck is this doing? All right. Liquidity was ran, and then it gave a proper reaction, right? Very good reaction. So now all this is doing is probably just setting itself up. Right? Giving a setup to then go up. I mean, I am bullish on this. Like, I really am bullish on this, just because I really like this reaction. That reaction is very good. Not to say just because we missed this entry, we just can't get the trade anymore. I mean, all you know now is that the probability is increasing of it going up. So it's just a matter of, honestly, I would like to see lower. I would love to see lower. I would like to see this full inefficiency potentially fill, maybe 50. Did 50% hit? Nah. Have 50% hit or even the fulfillment hit. Just give me that, and then we'll see about taking trades there. I'll even add an alert there just in case. But yeah, I mean, it's looking good, guys. It's everything's setting up good for Q3, Q4. Could take out the equal highs. Yeah, 100%, 100%. It could do it right now, actually. Right? Just based off looking at structure here, this wick is significant to me because it's the singular wick that just spiked up and then gave a reaction to downside. So now I know this is a very important structure point. So if we come back and take out that high, right, then any pullback is just a re-entry to take out these highs now. That's building narrative because I know this is a significant high, so I want to see if price respects this high or it doesn't. So if it holds and it starts coming down again, then cool. Now I'm looking for this narrative, for the narrative of the fulfillment of inefficiency. Right? It's all about, you know, your interpretation of the story. Right? And it's scenario based off of if this then that. Not more so, not really a prediction, more so if this then that. And it's pretty viable. I mean, since it's pretty much in range equilibrium right now, I don't really want to touch this. Yeah, and you can see that it is. I don't really want to touch this, so I want to see how this plays out and see what happens with this particular high right there. I mean, that's the same high for EU here, right? Pretty much the same high here. I want to see how that plays out. I mean, I'm bullish on it. I'm bullish on both. I know I'm bullish on both, right? It's just a matter of getting the best pricing possible. And you pretty nice distro. Oh damn, I see that. Good confluence. I mean, inefficiency. Bit messy. Bit sloppy. Oh wow. Let's see. I see 6 hour inefficiency here. Looks like it filled it. No, barely missed. Let's see if this is actually distribution. Cool. I don't like this. Off the bat, this is one thing I don't like. Right, quote unquote double top. I don't like that. But the fact that we're reacting here means that this has possibility to have downside movement because of break of structure here. So usually I don't like seeing double tops. Like, I know you guys saw the reaccumulation video. That's one of the best ways to pretty much how do I say, pretty much distinguish a reaccumulation compared to a distribution. Right off the bat, that's the significant thing here. Right, so I don't like, since I'm bullish EU GU, I'm bearish dollar, right? You want to see how price reacts, right? We have our double top, we reacted here, right? There's always the possibility that this can take out highs and come back, right? It's all about the idea that's shown, right? That there is a rejection point here, not necessarily whether it took out highs or not, is a rejection point here. And that's pretty much signifying to me that that's reaccumulation. And for here, right, it's let's see, let me take out everything. So depending, right, this scenario, right, we already had our double top and then we're now reacting, right? So now it's a matter of whether we're going to get a creek. All right, matter of we're going to get a creek. See what happens around this low. And then get the reaccumulation. Or this is going to be a substantial drop. BOS comes back. Area of structure. Last LPSY. Distribution. Right? So that's like the best way to pretty much differentiate both. Peep NZHF. No, fuck you. Hey, I heard Sergio wants to show y'all why he took that NZDCHF sell, but I don't think he's down. That's the 112-hour. I see. Too early to call. Yeah, it's too early to call, bro. It's schematic. I mean, remember everything I've told you about schematic? Right? How do you know if schematic is valid? Exactly. So but to catch it while it's happening, you have to understand the rules to it, the principles to it. So it's all about market behaviors, market reactions, market follow-throughs, right? Whether this is either going to give a substantial drop, take out structure, or like I said, LPSY, cool, bet. Then it's distribution, right? And I'd look to enter around here. But since this double top occurred, that's what's worrying me. That's what's like, iffy to me. Because there's always the chance, right, that this is liquidity to the upside, liquidity is taken. There's always the possibility that liquidity will be taken to the downside. Taken, reacted. So now we know that our POI now would be wherever that sets low. I'm just use this low for example, right? And use range equilibrium to see what's going to happen, right? This can have the drop, right? And now if it holds equilibrium, comes back to structure, does something here, whatever, then it's distribution. But depending on the behavior shown, after this drop, whether it's just going to come back or it's going to break structure, hold off, come back, then that's how you know how you're going to build your narrative, right? Because if this reacts, right, I'm going to put range equilibrium again. If this reacts right off the bat, cool, there's an SC down here. So play that SC, target liquidity high. Because at the end of the day, since you're playing this move, you know that structure is to the upside. Look at this, structure is to the upside. Damn, that's an ugly line. Structure is to the upside, right? And even though that's technically breaking the low, you got to understand the difference between a break of structure and a liquidity grab. And the easiest way to do that is seeing what happens as soon as price breaks that certain point, whether it stays there or it comes right back up, right? Like for example, GU, right? This came right back up, right? Bullish engulfing right off the bat after it took out that liquidity, right? That is the principle behind the spring. That's the principle behind the spring. That's the logic behind the spring, right? Liquidity taken and then came right back, right? Like oil, fucking oil. Let me see. Right, like oil. Oil did that nasty grab to when it hit zero. Obviously, it's not going to show it in the June contract, but look at what happened immediately after it went to zero. Literally right off the bat. And I'm mad that is he in here? Hold on. Is Koss in here? No, he's not in here, bro. He caught the low on the daily. He caught one of these lows. And he pretty much, if he held that, he'd be up a couple thousand pips. Crazy. Well, maybe like 1.5K, but still. You see that obviously just hit swing target there. Honestly, I don't think it's, let me see. Yeah, I don't know how, but the boy caught this. Caught that entry there. That low there. His target could have easily been up here, and that's about to smash. Right, from about 2,600 pips. Right, so on a, oh wait, no, yeah, 2,600 pips. That's like $200, $260 on a 0.01. Like, what the fuck, you know? Obviously, if you're trading with percentage, that move on any lot size is bread, bro. Like, I'm sorry, anything on that lot size, I mean any lot size on that move is bread. But that was a pretty interesting one. Like, I saw it coming, but I never acted upon it. I don't know, I didn't really care for it. Luckily the boy caught that. That's a good run. But that's the whole principle behind the spring. No, the equilibrium is the entire range, bro. It's not specifically any point. It's the entire range. It's called range equilibrium, not ARSC equilibrium. Range equilibrium. And it's relative too, bro. So it's not really, there's no correct way to do it. It's just, it's a reference point. Because like most of the time you see equilibrium is already an important place. As you can see, price is always bouncing left and right through it, right? Rejection through, etc. So it's usually a good point of reference. So if it's going to turn around in equilibrium, then logically it's going to create a lower low. That's just how structure works, you know? That candle before the big drop. What do you mean this is an SC? This entire candle is an SC? That's what you're saying? I don't know what you mean. On the weekly? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Bro, just unmute yourself. I don't know what you're saying. Bro, just unmute yourself. You're talking about this. Yeah, so if the narrative plays out, this is irrelevant to me because we know that the bigger picture will be bullish because liquidity is taken, right? Momentum is shifted. Why would you want to sell here? You might get a reaction, come back to structure, and then take it up. Yeah, you may say that's continuing structure, but in my eyes, I'm following the logic that's occurring through this range. Right? This entire thing can be an entire accumulation thing, like an entire schematic. Right? Pre-supply, buying climax, automatic rally, secondary test, reaction, right? Spring, test, SOS, LPS, full SOS, LPS, BU, spring. I mean, moon. I'm sorry. That's where people. That's probably where people fuck up the most. It's like they're trying to play every single candle, but they don't follow logic. They don't follow narrative. They don't follow structure. Right? Because now I know this is the solidified high. So if price was gonna make a lower low, it was gonna be off the reaction of this right here. This would have caused the lower low. But if this lower high doesn't create a lower low, this just comes back, solidifies a higher low. Now we're aiming to take out these highs and taking out these highs. Potentially this high, if you want to be conservative. Yeah. Because the lower high has already been established. The reaction has already occurred. So now it's just a matter of is this gonna create a lower low or is it not? Right? And a lot of people will catch this if you understand that logic, right? What's happening in schematic, what's happening in range. Yeah, so I'd really like to see that full-on closure of inefficiency. Right? There might be something here in these wicks, but I'm not really too worried yet. I won't check for those until I see this low break. Because for all we know, this is just that. Right? Like I said, the determining factor is that high there. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my rant for today. Damn, it's already 11:44. I was gonna ask you guys a question. I forgot. What was that question? Where's my phone? I was gonna ask you guys something. I forgot. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for today. I forgot what I was gonna ask you. That's kind of pissing me off. I was gonna ask you guys something. Oops, my bad. GA. I'm telling you right now, fuck buying GA. Like, bro, fuck buying this. Bro, yeah, fuck buying that. I'm sorry. Fuck buying that. Fuck buying that. Fuck buying this. Yeah. This is also part of narrative. Like, look, understanding narrative. Look, like, yes, this is a POI. Right, that inefficiency is a POI. Even though technically full structure has not broken, right? There is momentum carried there. The fact that that is a ton of momentum on a monthly candle, like, this is going to take time. This is going to take a lot of time for it to reverse, if it's going to reverse. If not, it's just going to keep going, right? And if we break this low, then that's a wrap. This is going to melt. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was playing the whole time. Is this corrective move? I was playing that entire corrective move, and then I just anticipated this to be a liquidity grab, and then from there we just play it down. Yeah, I mean, there's always a possibility we can reach back down here. I would love to see that. Would love to see this. Because I am bullish GBP long term. Yeah, if I hold that, fuck. That's 3,000 pips. But yeah, bro, that daily closure does not look good at all, bro. I'm sorry. That is not. I'm not buying that anytime soon. It also depends on how this opens. Because technically, right, structure broke there, and this could be the play. But it's like market just closed, monthly just closed. There's nothing supporting this upside bias besides my personal optimism. It's like, it's. I'm not saying it's not probable, but it's not the most probable, and that's an issue to me. But yeah, I mean, unless you guys want to talk about something, what's up? What's going on? Questions, concerns, complaints, compliments. Let's see. UCAD went nuts. Yeah, I heard it died. Oh shit, that did die. What the hell? Yeah, this would have been hard to play for me. That would have been hard to play for me. Even though it's pretty much the inverse of this to an extent. But I mean, you could see that it didn't hold that price inefficiency there. Right. Lower low, inefficiency, that. Damn, imagine if anybody caught this high here. That'd be crazy. That'd be sick. 1.46, that's already 800 pips in like 2-3 months. Yeah, 4-hour inefficiency. Oh, I see. Yeah, pretty nice, very nice. But I mean, look, even though you missed those trades, bro, it's just a matter of getting the continuations now or seeing if they're going to reverse. Because there's always the possibility that this just full on break structure impulsively, and then you just catch a correction, and then now you take out all these highs, and that's like a 300, 400 pip move. Or there's always the possibility that this just comes back and continues. Like it's cool. Like it's cool seeing this stuff, but just don't let that, like, just because I missed a move doesn't mean you're not gonna get a move ever again. But you just gotta play off the reactions. What happens, how it happens, when it happens, etc. Yeah. Other than that, I think I'm good for today, guys. Unless you have another topic. Time of days helped me a ton. Yes. Just wait until I show you the behaviors video. That's gonna clear so much stuff up. But it's just fuck. Like, it's just a time issue. Like, fuck these online classes straight up. Like, once I get them done with, everything will be back to normal. I mean, well, honestly, after Monday, it'll be back to normal. But yeah, I think we're done for today, guys.